What is up, movie viewers? Dena Mo Views and Reviews here, asking what you watching. Well, today I am watching Monique's comedy special, and it is called My Name is Monique. This stand-up comedy stars the one and only Monique Hicks. She is the Oscar winner, the actress, and she is a comedian. It is produced and directed by Elle Frazier and executively produced by Monique and her husband Sidney Hicks. As most of us are aware, Monique had a lawsuit against Netflix for racial and gender discrimination because they did not want to pay her what they paid other male comedians like Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, and what they paid white comedians or white females like Amy Schumer. So, a court document that was dated June 14th stated as the plaintiff, Monique Hicks, and defendant Netflix, it said that through their respective counsel of record, hereby stipulate and agree to dismiss this entire action, including without limitation all claims alleged therein with prejudice, with each party to bear her or its own costs, expenses, and attorney fees. So that meant that it was all settled. And after it was settled, exactly 1 month later, the Oscar-winning comedian announced that she would be doing a stand-up for Netflix. And I was very pleased to hear this, and I could not wait to see the debut of her stand-up comedy show. Well, it is here. She was recently in a movie called The Reading, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think she did a superb acting job. And as a queen of comedy, she really tickled me. In fact, me and my sisters, we still trip off some of the punchlines from the queens of comedy. So the anticipation for this comedy special was overwhelming, and it's something I felt she deserved. And she has earned that right to headline her own stand-up comedy special. Of course, we can't ignore some of the drama that was apparent between Monique when it came to some of the movie deals regarding Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and a few others that at one point drew lines in the sand. It caused people to draw lines in the sand. But I am so happy that they were able to get beyond their disagreements, or at least put that on the back burner, and get back to the business of focusing and producing movies and entertainment that she starred in. I have to say, I like comedy, I enjoy movies, and I like being entertained. But it seems lately every movie has some kind of political or social agenda that taints its delivery for me. And in this case, I found this to be true of Monique's stand-up comedy. It was no different. Even Chappelle, in my personal opinion, of course, delivers some good punchlines once in a while, but his also seems to be almost just a long monologue. I was expecting Monique to come out with guns blazing and throwing some funny one-liners, but watching her stand-up performance, it just felt like more of this monologue style of comedy that I am seeing today. As she is walking to the stage, you can hear voices in the background saying, "Monique is a legend," and the other voice saying, "She burnt too many bridges and her career is over." And she's continuously walking to the stage. And then you hear her voice say, "Thanks for the encouragement." Monique is welcomed by the crowd. She is on a stage in Atlanta, Georgia. She looks very beautiful. She looks glamorous. She's wearing this black dress. Her hair is done, is styled very nice. She's showing that silver and black hair. It looks beautiful. But Monique starts her comedy special off by referencing her personal struggles, some family issues, and it almost felt as if she was just thrown off a bit, perhaps because of what she has dealt with for the past few years. Maybe like Chris Rock, she had a little get back she wanted to express and release. And so in her special, she touched on things like staring down a racist teacher, her being in special ed, and having gay aunts or uncles. Which one was it? But she shouted out the LGBT community, and she took the black church to task, saying they caused her grandmother to not accept her gay child. She called her mother an illiterate bitch, and even talked about herself personally struggling with gay feelings and wanting to have relations with a woman, the overwhelming desire at night to be with a woman, so much so that she had to wake up her husband from his sleep and share it with him. She was I guess she was in heat, I don't know, but it was the part that I didn't find any humor with for me was when she said her uncle, who was gay, told her grandmother to kiss his dick. Wow, his own mother? Now that wasn't funny at all to me, and I could see and hear the gasp coming from the audience members. And for me, after that, it just kind of went astray. Her focus seemed to be more about LGBT acceptance and her validating her stance with those she may have issues or have had issues with in the past. It just started to feel like a lecture of sorts, especially when it came to her views in support of gay lifestyle. And she has every right to believe as she pleases, as she should respect the rights of others to reject that lifestyle if they so choose. Even if they choose to disassociate themselves from that behavior that they do not find suitable or acceptable, it does not mean that they hate the person. I know it's a taboo subject, but people have their right to not accept certain behaviors. They have their right not to accept certain beliefs. Simply because society says it's popular and society says it's acceptable, that doesn't mean that everybody is going to accept it, and that's perfectly okay. And as humans, we have to be mindful and respectful of those people who disagree, that accept or reject what you see or what you give them. They have the right to reject it without being labeled. And that includes your points of views, your behavior, and your choices. That is on you. It is never okay to demand others accept your way of life. Loving a person does not have to include loving or accepting their ways or their behavior. And you do not have to treat anyone bad or inhumane because you disagree with them. You can live and you can allow others to live. You do your thing and I will do mine. And we do not have to fuss, nor do we have to fight. We have to simply learn to respect that others do not have to agree with you. They don't have to accept certain behaviors, okay? And you don't have the right to force your beliefs on them. Respect them for being honest enough to let you know I love you, but not your behavior or the choices that you've made and are making. There's a difference, and it is often leveraged or ignored when it comes to those that love their family, regardless of whether you are LGBT or not. Do not adhere or condone to that behavior. That does not change the fact that you can love your relatives, you can love people, and you can keep your distance. And sometimes it is even better to keep down confusion in your family. So we can agree to disagree and leave it at that. Now, I have no problem with storytelling when it comes to comedians, because some of the funniest jokes are from their actual experiences in their family. Some of the events that have occurred in their lives come out, and it becomes, they let us know and make us a part of it, and it's just funny. But as a comedian, make the delivery funny. Some of the comedians today seem to be centered around trying to be politically correct, and it's becoming annoying. It ruins the whole stand-up comedy routine because it's obvious you're dodging landmines. So it is all coming off almost like long lectures. And this is why I gave Monique's stand-up comedy a 1 out of 5 stars. I don't know if Monique perhaps felt she had to approach it, her comedy, her stand-up comedy like she did, or if she was advised on what she should say or not say or how to go about it. I don't know, but I just didn't quite feel that queen of comedy spirit, that free, vibrant, funny, witty Monique. It just wasn't there for me. And it could have been a result of her feeling a bit battle fatigue. I just don't know. And people do mature and circumstances change in our lives. But it's like she started out well, but kind of eased her feet off the gas and just completely stopped at one point. I noticed the entire audience was quiet when she got to a certain point. And at that point, it felt like a lecture, like she was giving a lecture or a get this shit off my chest moment. And I personally want to see that funny Monique from the Queens of Comedy. I noticed when she ended the show and they panned the audience, the looks upon some of their faces were like, that's it, or somewhat disenchanted. Now, I think Monique is a very good actress, and so I am just gonna chalk this one up to battle fatigue, because I know the Queen of Comedy still exists somewhere within her. And this just did not hit well for me personally. But My Name is Monique is rated TVMA, and if you would like to check out My Name is Monique, you most certainly can, for it is currently streaming on Netflix, and you can be sure to subscribe and leave me a comment on your thoughts on this movie. This has been Dena Mo Views and Reviews. Like, share, subscribe, and join me for my next review and or recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what you watching?